Good evening, darlings, and a very warm welcome on what is a pretty cold night, or it certainly is here anyway, to Sunday Night Live. And we are going to wave away the week that has passed, but we are going to welcome in a new week, beginning, of course, with a Monday, which hopefully for me will be a Monday fun day, but might not be quite as much fun for you. So it's not that long since I was with you. Some of you were kind enough to join me for the Sunday lunch live stream. So, hello again. Tell me about your day after we parted company. Tell me about the food you ate. You all know what I ate. God knows I did it on a live. And yeah, tell me what you're looking forward to in the week ahead. Is it Halloween in the week ahead? It is, isn't it? God, Halloween, then bonfire night, Christmas before you bloody know it. Dear, oh dear. Cheers, darlings. You're very good health. Bottoms up yours. Get stuffed. Lovely, lovely. So I'm just going to dive straight in tonight because I feel like having a good old chat with you, lovelies, tonight. A good old heart to heart. And first cab off the rank is none other than the wonderful, delightful, and utterly generally fabulous Carol C. Good evening, Boaty, and all the community. I am on the right side of my roast pork dinner. Hope everyone has had a pleasant Sunday. Oh, we hope you had a pleasant roast pork dinner. Roast pork. It's not difficult. Good evening, Boaty and Bog, says Peter P. Sausage and mash dinner today. I really enjoyed the sausage and mash I had on whatever day it was. Friday, Thursday, Friday, whenever it was, I really enjoyed it. Ian Hully is with us. Hope everyone's had a splendid Sunday and looking forward to a goodly dose of evening debate and jovial jesting. I'm looking forward to that too. Andrew Buttigieg, the lovely Ivor, Spotty Botty, a very good evening, Boaty and Door. Not sure if I can make the stream tonight. If not, enjoy yourselves. Oh, that's kind. That's kind indeed. Emma popped in. Good evening from Knackersville. Not sure how long I'll manage to stay awake tonight, but we shall see. Hope you've all had a pleasant day. That's kind. Matron is with us. Hello from the finest Premier Inn in Rochdale. Yeah, that's not exactly a massive pool, is it, Matron? But I know it's a very happy place for you. Ah, oh, I'm just having a look at that. Yeah, interesting. Interesting. So yeah, our matron is holder in a Premier Inn. Hello from the finest Premier Inn in Rochdale. I had a very decent roast beef dinner and a Knickerbocker Glory sun fries from the Sunday from the food place next door. Now in bed, deciding what to take home this time. And Peter P says, Matron, is it just the mattress you need to complete the set? And Matron had a bit of a giggle at that, so she did. There's a rather lovely chair in here, says Matron. Purple velvet. I think I like the colour and fabric more than the style, though. 11 o'clock already, says Carlbert, and it is indeed. Any street finds in Rochdale worth taking? Well, I can answer that. No. The street fighting thing that's all the rage in Norwich doesn't seem to go on anywhere else. We don't have it, I don't think. Excuse me. Or maybe I've just not been looking closely enough at the streets and it's actually a thing. That's better. I don't think it's a thing though. I could be wrong. Who knows? Evening all says Rocket Max, our lovely Max. Bless him. A wonderful part of our community, but let us not forget one of our celebrities because Max is the finest Elton John tribute act in the known universe. And that's why he's paid an extraordinary amount of money to spend his life on cruise ships, cruising the Caribbean. Uh, Hello, Pete, says Carol. Marmite, love it or hate it? I like it. I haven't I haven't had Marmite for so long I can't remember what it tastes like. Maybe I should get some. Max says, Boaty pours a glass of wine like I do. You mean properly, Max? Properly, like a civilized person, like somebody who's seen a sommelier. And you'll have seen your fair share of those on the old cruise ships, won't you? That is the correct way to pour a glass of wine, darlings. And if you're in the trade, then the two cardinal rules when pouring a bottle of wine for a customer. One, the bottle must never, ever, ever touch the glass. Cardinal rule number two, the label must always be facing the customer. And the trick is the twist and away. And that prevents any little drops, any unseemly dribbles. Twist and away, darlings. Come on, do it with me. Do it with me. Twist and away. Yeah, that's a thing like saluting. If you're in the British Army, long way up, short way down. Well, there's a wine etiquette as well. Simone is with us and says hello. Bad Books is here, says good evening. The Equalizer has now become the Equalizer Media and says evening all. Max says, I told you it'd be somewhere flash. I'm off the coast of Ponta Delgada on the way to Bermuda. Oh, Bermuda. Gosh. Now, I am 1/4 Bermudan, of course, and I've never been there. So, yeah, tell me what it's like when you get there, Max, and see if you can find any of my relatives. Yeah, I should go, really, shouldn't I? Connect with my heritage. Nicki Minaj. But anyway, Max is in Pedro Delgado. Not Pedro Delgado. Pedro Delgado was a cyclist in the 1980s and 1990s. He's in the Ponta Delgado. Oh, and it's Delgado, not Delgado. So I got that completely wrong, didn't I? And he's on the way to Bermuda. So thankful for your live streams as they help me remember what day it is. There you are. I am here to serve. I am the modern equivalent of the speaking clack. Oh, yes. At the third stroke, it shall be. What will it be? How did they used to say it? Did they say they wouldn't have said 23:08? It'll be, what did they say? 8 minutes past 11. It'll be 11. I can't remember what they said. Somebody remind me. It'll be 11:08 precisely. Beep, beep, beep. So, says Matron, today I managed to get off the train in the wrong station. After Todmorden, it was supposed to be Rochdale. It made an unexpected stop. I thought it was Rochdale. I got off and had to get a cab. Was the restaurant busy? Asked Carol C. Any momos sold? No, the restaurant was anything but busy. The restaurant was very quiet. Takeaways were busy. And yes, we did sell some momo. But only 2 portions, I think, tonight. 2 portions of momo were sold. And that reminds me that it has been too long again since I had momo. My momo drawer, darlings, is full to bursting. I've got momo chutney, and I really should bloody well eat some. So yeah, this week I'll have some momo. Although I've got a busy week, I will find time for momo. Oh, and a reminder that if you live within striking distance of me and or the restaurant, you can buy momo and have your own momo drawer in your own freezer and enjoy them at your leisure. And they are a wonderful thing. I think in the future, when I look back on life, I will split it into before Momo and after Momo. Max says, I've smuggled some wine on board, 99 cents a carton. Class. Cheers, all. Cheers, Max. You're very good health, my friend. Have a good cruise. How are you not as fat as a pig with all, with all that glorious food? Oh dear. Andrew saw a half decent dining table the other day on the nature strip, but can't fit it in the car. Matron said, I phoned my youngest daughter to ask her to order me an Uber. My eldest daughter panicked as she thought I was saying I was lost in the north. Oh dear. Oh yeah. Dinner, says Bad Books. Roast chicken, broccoli, and mash. And oh, I'm going to have to translate again. Ah, right. Sorry. Rewind. Lunch, says Bad Books. Well, he didn't, but that's what he meant. Lunch, roast chicken, broccoli, and mash. And dinner, chicken and mayo sarnies and citron tart for pud. The Equalizer's having a giggle at something. Oh, thank you, Max. He's going to do some digging and try and hunt my relies out. Oh, the time sponsored by Accurist. Yeah, that's right. The time sponsored by Accurist will be, yes, indeed. And on tonight's episode of Lost Family, Boaty finds his roots. God, it would be genuinely interesting. It would genuinely be interesting. I'd love to know who that rapist was. A little bit more about it. I wonder how I would react. I mean, I presume that he's dead. He'd be he must be dead. But somewhere in Bermuda or around the world, there must be a load of people that I'm related to, and I've got no idea who they are. It would be fascinating to find them. It'd be fascinating just to visit Bermuda and find I wonder if I won the lottery or something. I wonder I could hire Barry and Karen via their detective agency, and I could get them to find out who my grandfather was, and then to track down the surviving relatives and set up a meeting. That'd be an interesting thing to do, wouldn't it? Oh, and speaking of Barry and Karen, they're both very busy at the moment, so they're not able to be on the lives as much as they would like and as much as we would like. But I can tell you that as soon as it arrived, Barry's book, his first book, immediately became my toilet book. Clarkson went back onto the library shelf, and I've been reading Barry's book as my toilet book. And I'm quite hooked, darlings. I'm only about 4 chapters in, but it's setting itself up to be quite the thriller. Now, it's not a genre that I would normally read, to be perfectly honest, but I'm enjoying it, and above all, it's somebody that we know, and he's done a thing. And believe me, writing a book is a thing. Writing anything is a thing. Oh, I can't get that one back in. I'll have to eat it. Right, that's the salami finished off. Yeah, writing anything is very definitely a thing. And I speak as someone who is, I was going to say was, but I guess is and always will be a published author. But I haven't done anything for so many years. And that tells you how difficult it is. Oh, very nice, that salami. Mm. I write, or I used to write rather well. I was published at a time when there was no self-publishing, not really. You had to be picked up by a literary agent, and You had to be deemed worthy. Um, so I was all right, but I never found it easy to write on demand. So my writing kind of ended as almost as soon as it began because I thought, this is hard work. I can't be. I'm not an on-demand person, not when it comes to writing anyway. Um, I I can write stuff that can be this, that, or the other, can be amusing, can be, or I could anyway, but only when the feeling took. And like so many things in my life, it's something that only happened by accident. It happened by accident, not by design. Well, to tell you the story, that the way I got into it was I had a wonderful English teacher or lecturer called Mrs. Oh God. Oh, I'm in a group. She died relatively recently, and I actually wrote to her daughter to tell her the effect that she'd had on me, and now I can't remember her bloody name. All I've got in my mind is Mrs. Fossington Gore, which is Adrian Mole's teacher, not mine, and I can't remember what mine was called. It'll come to me. But I wrote. She she persuaded me to write and persuaded me to get into debating. Um, and I wrote a short story that actually was really good, but only because I only wrote it because it came to me and I wanted to write it. So I wrote it and it was good. Um, and she sent it off to, without asking me, she sent it off to a competition and it won the competition. And I got picked up by an agent. And then I wrote one or two more things and thought, I don't want to do this anymore. I find it too difficult. I can't I can't be creative on demand, you know? If and that's true of the biggest things and the smallest things, silly little things. Like if you said to me, make up a silly song, I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. I'd go, no, I can't do it. But when I'm just bumbling through life, a song will come about, if I had 19 buttocks or take the children by the end or whatever it happens to be, and it'll just come and stuff will just come to me. But it won't happen on demand. So if I try and do something, come up with a business idea or write something or anything that involves creativity, if I try and do it on demand, it can't happen and it won't happen. It can only happen by accident. So that's why I admire Barry and anybody else very much because they can do it on demand. Discipline to they've got the creative spark and they've got the discipline to carry it through. And I haven't. So I'm in awe of them, as I think most people are in awe of anybody who does things that they can't do themselves. So do consider having a read of Barry's book. We all watch each other's YouTube channels and support each other um, doing that. So we've got an author amongst us. Support him, buy his book. We must put, Matron, we must include a link to where people can buy Barry's books. We give out channel links, so we should give out a link for that as well. Good evening, lovely people. Still talking about food, says Diane. It's kind of a constant subject, isn't it? I only have and make Yorkshire puddings for a beef roast, says Carol C. Controversial? Ah, good question. Is that controversial? Well, possibly, arguably, because of course Yorkshire puddings originally were not served with roast beef. Originally, Yorkshire puddings were not served with anything. Yorkshire puddings were brought into being to be served as a starter. And it was, sorry, a bit of salami stuck between what's left of my teeth. Uh, it was a bit of Yorkshire thrift invented by farmers' wives. And they wanted to invent a big, they invented this big suety pudding thing to serve as a starter with gravy. And they would say cunningly, them as eats the most pudding gets the most meat with the main course. And I know that's grammatically incorrect, but that's Yorkshire for you. They are northern. Um, and the idea was that they probably didn't have enough meat to go round. So if they got everybody to fill up before the meal on Yorkshire pudding, they wouldn't notice the lack of meat. And that was why they say, whoever eats the most pudding gets the most meat. It was a scarce commodity amongst poor farmers. So the ones who wanted the meat most would fill themselves up on the Yorkshire pudding and they wouldn't notice the lack of meat. And then, of course, the cunning Yorkshire farmers' wives served the Yorkshire pudding again as a dessert, but with something sweet, with some jam on it or something like that. So, but then it become associated with roast beef and Yorkshire pudding. So, I mean, I think technically you could probably serve Yorkshire pudding with anything you wanted to, and it wouldn't be incorrect, except that if you want to go right back to the tradition of Yorkshire pudding, if you serve it with anything, it is incorrect because it should be served just with gravy as a starter. But there you go. I mean, ultimately, do what the hell you want. I think is the thing. But yeah, what's your opinion on what you can eat Yorkshire puddings with? I will happily eat a Yorkshire pudding with a chicken roast. I'll eat Yorkshire pudding with anything, darlings. I will. I had Yorkshire pudding with chicken and chips only this week, and I didn't feel remotely guilty. And why should I, indeed? Yeah, ignore the Yorkshire pudding, please, and eat them whenever you like. And if you want to eat Momo for breakfast, do that too. I'm going to do that one day. I'm going to have a Momo breakfast. Now, where do we get to? Oh. Stephen S. Paul is with us. Oh, how lovely. He normally misses it. Good evening, my dear chap. Hi, Diane, says Carol. Are you feeling improved from this afternoon? And Diane says, thank you for asking. Slightly, but still no food. Diane is poorly, darlings, and literally can't stomach food. Andrew says, Boaty, have you not got an ancestry doings? It can be an eye-opening experience. Yeah, I wouldn't know where to start with it because how do you trace somebody when you don't know who they are? And they're unlikely to come forward because, well, A, they're dead, and B, they would have been admitting a criminal offence if they weren't dead. So I would do it happily, but I wouldn't know how to go about it. I had a horrendous migraine today, says Simone. So bad I was struggling to see. Oh, that's awful. Boaty, says Matron, you need to do a DNA test through Ancestry and also upload those results to MyHeritage. You will find relatives. Will I? Ah. Don't forget, I'm a former detective, says Max, and I had completely forgotten that. You can team up with Barry and Karen then. How are Casbar? Asked Peter P. Busy. Busy, but happy and fulfilled as far as I'm aware. Andrew says, mum's side of the family are a mishmash. Some Irish and Welsh in there, apparently related to Captain James Cook somehow. And the tree traced back to that crazy king who tried turning back the waves. Blimey. And also in the early 1800s, some family members were quite rich, but liked the gambling. Apparently lost a lot of the royal family at the time. Oh dear. Oh, thank you, Matron. Matron will sort out the link for Barry's book. I did actually write a kids' rhyming book with the kids called Oh No, Mrs. Flo, but haven't done anything with it, says Ross. Hello, Ross. I like the Piddle and Squat book, says Peter P. Those are Emma's children's books. We've got some right talent in the community, haven't we? Hey, I mean, I'm the only untalented one here. The rest of you, you've got amazing strings to your bow. I like toad in the hole with onion gravy, says Carol C. No potatoes required. I'd agree with that. Ross says, just need an illustrator. It's in the style of the Gruffalo and Room on the Broom. Fun Stuff 24 says, genealogy doings are addictive. So many hours down the ancestry rabbit hole. And Ross says there's more than a few artists on this channel. Yeah. Well, yeah, I know where you're going there. I'm a piss artist, so yeah. Right. That's the comments caught up with. Where should we go now? We've got all the rest of the time to discuss anything that you would like to discuss, darlings. For those who missed the live stream this afternoon, Hedgehog of Truth question. What part of Nigel would you add to JJ? The wheels. I like the wheels that are on Nigel at the moment. Although I'd rather they went on Sheathan than JJ. But I do like the wheels that Nigel is on at the moment. What was I saying? Oh yeah, if you missed the live stream this afternoon, we were talking quite a bit about the about the old B&B, the old Airbnb. It's going to be a constant subject now, darlings. And we came up with a name for it, or Russ came up with a name for it, and and I think that name is going to be the winner. I think it's going to stick, and the name is the Sherpa's Lodge. So if you missed this afternoon, then tell me what you think of that as a name for the Airbnb, the Sherpa's Lodge. I love it. It ticks all of the boxes for me. And Peter P loves it. Yeah, I love it. I love it too. I think it's honestly, I think it's absolutely spot on. Absolutely spot on. You can, of course, ask me a Hedgehog of Truth question. You can send me a voice note. I better get the phone just in case somebody actually does. As soon as I finish this, I'm going to be getting ready for tomorrow. Because tomorrow night, darlings, I will be in the very hotel where Matron is currently dwelling in her pit. And that's exciting, isn't it? Let's just check the phones. I agree, says Dan. I love it. Quick, get the copyright, Ross. You can't copyright that. He wouldn't anyway. He will. Oh, hang on. Oh, I hadn't read this. Oh, can't read it on that one. Let's read it on this one. Oh, that's fine, Emma, if you're still watching. Um, I was saying this lunchtime that we would absolutely try and do the joint live stream tomorrow night as normal, but Emma's got a lot going on at the moment at home. She's got all of her kids there. Little Lemon has got the pox, the old piddle pox, and she's just knackered at trying to deal with everything. So we're going to play it by ear. There will be a live stream tomorrow night, and God knows who's going to be on it. Might just be me and half a bottle of vodka in a hotel room, darlings. It'll be fun. Whatever happens, it'll be fun. I can promise you that. What else have we got to talk about? Supper tonight will be no surprise to any of you. Staff current. Oh yeah, I was saying I've got to get ready for tomorrow, haven't I? So yeah. God knows what's going to happen tomorrow, but most of it will be filmed. I can tell you how tomorrow will start. It'll start with me not wanting to wake up, not wanting to get out of bed, and not wanting to leave the cottage. So, geez, says Ross, it's taken me 48 years to come up with one decent idea. Oh, yeah, but he did, Peter P. You're quite right. He settled for a kebab and 2 free nights at the lodge. The lodge, that already sounds so much better than the Airbnb, doesn't it? Emma says, I'll let you know as the day progresses tomorrow about tomorrow night's live stream. Just don't want to promise anything. Completely understand. Arwen, Emma, I'm so sad I had to cancel joining you all tomorrow. I know how much you wanted and needed that, and I'm really sorry that it's not happening. But it's well, you're taking a rain check, as our American friends say. It's not an absolute cancellation. It just means we're going to have to do it on another day. God, I'm getting shaggy. See, that's the other downside. I'm not getting a haircut, and I'm not sure if. Oh, well said, Diane. Well said, Diane. I'm not sure if Ram is trying to employ some reverse psychology now. Now, after begging me to get my hair cut for months, nagging me every night, Ram is now saying, "Oh, your long hair looks really good. Don't get it cut." And I'm pretty sure he's only saying that, trying a bit of the old reverse psychology, so that I will absolutely go and get it cut. I don't know. I don't know whether to go and get it chopped, which I could do tomorrow, or think sod it and just keep going with it and let it grow, or just get it trimmed a bit. I don't know. What do you think? What do you think I should do with my barnet? Boaty has the local farm. Has the local farmer not got a shearing machine? Yeah. I like the long hair. Very rock and roll, says Diane. I should probably ask my fiance, shouldn't I? I keep forgetting that as an engaged person, I should involve my fiance in more things. Let it grow, says Matron. It's probably past the messy stage now. Let me see what I think tomorrow. Andrew's got to go. His brother is there. Andrew, good luck, mate, and make sure that you're okay. Go for the mohawk, Boaty, says Andrew. Boaty, your hair looked amazing, says Emma, in last Monday's lunch videos. But I imagine it's hard to make it look okay all the time, and sometimes it looks like you're struggling to control it. Well, yeah, absolutely. I don't know how to control it. I don't know what you're supposed to do with hair. I don't know what to do. Somebody needs to teach me how to deal with hair. I don't know. I don't know. Oh, everybody's sending Andrew love. That's nice. That's nice. A random ancestry link to your area, says Fun Stuff 24. My distant grandfather was Sheriff of Derbyshire and Nottinghamshire in the 1300s. Definitely try a DNA test. It can be fascinating. Stephen S. Paul says, Boaty looks like Neil Diamond circa 1970. I'll take that. I'll take that. Looking like Neil Diamond at around the time of the original Hot August Night concert at the Greek Theatre, I would be very happy with that. Put it in rollers at night time, says Diane. I like that hair makes you look distinguished and eccentric, says Emma. You look a bit scary when it's shaved, like you've just escaped prison. I know, I do look a bit scary. Yeah. Oh dear. I'm just enjoying the sound of the lodge. The lodge sounds so good, so much better than the Airbnb or upstairs, the lodge, the Sherpa's lodge. I love that. I'm really so happy with that. Looks good with a bit of length, says Fun Stuff 24, and that's not a euphemism. He looks like the hedgehog when he's shaven, says Peter P. Oh, Mustard's here. Hello, shoplifters. Hello, Mustard. How you doing? How is Roger Melly shits in his nightie? How's the video doing? All ready for tomorrow morning? Oh, keep the hair on until I can get to you with my clippers, whenever that may be, says Emma. What was I going to say then? I was going to say something. Totally forgotten what it was. Oh, yeah, right. I had a chat with Sean this afternoon. Quite an interesting chat, actually. Nice to catch up with Sean. He's been obsessing over his sheds of late. So it was nice to have a bit of a catch up there. That bloody fridge door. I really must get it oiled. His live stream last night, which was just an empty room, he had a genuine reason for doing that. He's got a whole new camera arrangement, and it's to film continually at the homestead. And so what he was doing last night was testing it. So he put up this live stream and he ran it overnight. He monetized it, the cheeky devil, and he got 6,500 views and probably earned a small fortune. So, and long before he did that, I did my 24-hour live stream, and people have said to me quite recently, some of you guys said to me, when I was talking about swapping their phones around and cameras, stick one up in the guest cupboard window and just run a live stream out there. Well, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. One night this week, I'm going to finish this live stream. I'm going to set up a live stream in the guest cupboard, pointing the doings out of the window, and just see what happens. Just leave it running with adverts. And and I'll leave it going probably until whenever, certainly until the morning. So You could watch the sunrise. You could watch what. I'm just going to do it. If people are prepared to sit and watch that, and like, do you remember when? Do you remember when? Well, we've done it various times when people were in hospital. The first time it was dear old Cheeseburger who said to me, "Set up a live stream while you're at work, so that we can chat in the comments with the guys that were in hospital at that point." I think the first time went right back to Joseph, didn't it? Who's now sadly, very so sadly, no longer with us. You remember Joseph, the Western New York Bigfoot investigator guy, who sadly, when he was part of our community, was unexpectedly taken a little bit ill. His wife nagged him to go to the doctors, and to his to all of our shock, he got a terminal diagnosis, and literally only a few weeks or a month later, he was receiving end of life care very bravely indeed. Um, but yeah, they. I've set up live streams in the past just so that people can chat in the comments, and and many of you have said to me that the best live streams I've done have been the ones when I weren't there, and this happened for Sean last night. It was just an empty room live stream. People saw some ghostly activity. There was a loud bang and all of that sort of thing. But people said they enjoyed the opportunity of being able to chat in the comments and get to know each other because they weren't having to listen to what the live streamer was saying to them. So I might do a few. I might do a few of those. And if you ask me why I'll do it, I'll say, well, it's to facilitate a stronger community bond so that you guys can dip in or dip out at any time of the day or night and strengthen your community bond. That will be a lie. I'll be doing it for the money. I'll be doing it for the views, for the watch hours, and for the money, because I'll bloody monetize it. But yeah. But yeah, it was nice to catch up with Sean. Now where were we? Mustard is close to finishing the edit. Oh, good. He wacht his suspense. The duck is deceased. Good evening, Boaty. And chat, says John. My new video on my channel is doing well. Thanks for those that have viewed it. I'm happy it's doing well. Oh, well done, John. Oh, yeah, I remember him, says Mustard, talking about Joseph, I guess. That was awful. That was awful. That was really surreal. Dealing with somebody going through that okay, we only knew him remotely, online, but virtually, if you like. But I remember it being very, very real at the time. And I remember being incredibly moved by it. I spoke to his family before, during, and after his death. They were very grateful for the love and support that he got from you guys, from the community. That was one of the first times that real life really kicked into our online doings, and I think it kind of confirmed that however things play out and whatever we thought of what we were doing, that whatever it was we were doing and were creating, were building, was very real for some people. And I don't think any of us have forgotten that. And it was, like a lot of trauma and tragedy, it kind of bonded us closer together. And I think that when you remember genuinely meaningful things like that, life-shattering stuff that we're a part of, then it really puts into perspective when there's a silly, relatively silly minor fallout and somebody flounces or anything like that, then, that's neither here nor there, is it? Not when you compare to what this community can be and is and has been and no doubt will be in the future. And that's why it will always survive anybody throwing their toys out of the pram or having a flounce or having a bad day or anything like that. I remember that very well. I don't know how much I shared online. I can't remember that, or on the on the live streams. But I remember being massively affected when Joseph passed. That was, oh yeah, not the first time it happened to me. The first time that happened to me was, and Matron will remember this, Richard Lane, our friend Richard Lane, and any of my eBay friends um, will remember this. And that was the first time that I encountered somebody that I knew dying on social media. Now, if you've got a family member who's terminally ill, please, God, none of you, I mean, it's a it's a dreadful thing. It's the dreadful thing. And you're in there, you're in the eye of the storm with them. When you've got a friend who's terminally ill, especially if it's an online friend, a virtual friend, and those friendships can be very real, even if you've never met. I never met Richard. Um, but when they die on social media, when if they are an enthusiastic user of social media, then they will die on social media. They will vlog or blog everything, going into the hospice, receiving the end of life care, talking about this, that, or the other. And you can't escape it. Now, in the old days, somebody would be in their bedroom or go to the hospital or the hospice or whatever, and they would quietly die, and you would go to the funeral. Um, they didn't telephone you, you didn't telephone them. You probably had no idea what was going on, and social media changed all that, and it's very difficult to deal with. Now, when Richard got when Richard got his terminal diagnosis, he was very, very open about it, and it was heartbreaking and really made you stop in your tracks, because you got a very real sense of what was going on. And lots of things kick in at that point: the empathy, the sympathy, but also the fear that this could be me, probably will be me one day. I'm sure we all thought that. But it was heartbreaking. I remember I remember him going for a walk, and it was probably about this time of year, if I remember correctly. And he went for a walk, and I remember his Facebook post. God, it was bad for me reading it. What must it have been like for him? And he was looking at the trees and the falling leaves and the changing colours and all of that. And he said, I can't cope with the idea that I'm seeing autumn, but I won't see spring. I'll never see these trees come back into leaf again. And you read something like that from somebody that you're connected with, and you think, fuck, holy fuck, that is. And it was dreadful. And his only wish was to see Christmas. He wanted to live until Christmas. And we all of his online friends, we found this so difficult to deal with. We formed a support group. We literally formed a Facebook group to support each other through what he was going through. It sounds selfish, and maybe it was, because obviously it was about him. It was the end of his journey. It was his struggle. It was what he had to deal with. But because he shared it all on social media, we were dealing with it too, and we didn't know how to deal with it. I certainly didn't. And somebody, it wasn't me, somebody set up a group that still exists, and his mother is still a member of it. Um, and we kind of supported each other, so that we could be strong for him and positive and figure out what the hell we should say. What do you say to somebody who's dying? It's like, I remember the first time I was faced with that was Richard, the guy um, that I built the car place with. His mum, Sally, who I adored, she had breast cancer and that became terminal. And I remember Richard bringing her to the showrooms from the hospice, and she came in and she said, "Hello, everybody. I've come to say goodbye." And I was only a kid then. I was in my 20s, and I thought, I don't know how to deal with that. I do not know how to deal with that. Um, and I still don't know if I did it in the right way or the wrong way. Um, I gave her a massive hug. I said, "You've made a massive difference to me," and told her why. Um, and I said, "I'm so glad to have had you in my life. Thank you for everything that you did to help me, and I hope that you take pride in the son that you've raised, who is my best friend as he was at the time." I didn't know what to say. I didn't know what to say. But the point is that she did that and said her goodbyes, got back into the car, went back to the hospice. That was that. I didn't have to think about that until however much longer, it wasn't much longer, a few weeks later, um, I got a call from Richard at about 2 o'clock in the morning, something like that, saying, "Mum's going or Mum's gone. Can you come and look after the children so Jessica and I can get to the hospice?" And I said, "Yeah, sure." He had two very young children. So I got out of bed, threw some clothes on, quickly drove to his house, and I looked after the kids when so Richard and Jessica could go and say goodbye. Um, but that was all I had to deal with. And then there was the funeral where God, I can remember the car. I drove a Bentley S2 as the the lead mourner's car, or whatever the hell you call it. But that was relatively easy compared to Richard. And so we set up this group. Why am I talking about this? I've completely forgotten why I'm talking about any of this. I've completely lost the plot. Yeah. But anyway, I'll finish the thing. So we set up this Facebook support group. Richard didn't make it until Christmas, came close. God, it was so impossible to. Oh, I think I was talking about what the community can do, that sort of thing. We've kind of gone off subject a bit here, and it's probably a bit depressing. So I should probably stop doing it. The good that came out of the Richard thing was that because we'd all been more closely involved than normal, because somebody did it on social media, we all went to the funeral, and it meant that many of us met each other for the first time. It was the first time that I met Sean, Astro, Steve, um, Cooper, Paul Cooper, um, Steve Wilson, Big Tall Steve that you've seen in my videos. I did the Jaguar video with, the Fiat 500 video with, and so it ended up creating stronger bonds amongst that level of the community. And to get back to the point that I'm making, I think the Joseph thing did that with our community here. I don't know how you guys feel about it, but I will never think, after that and many other occasions as well, I will never think that what we've got here is frivolous or worthless. And I will never think that it's not real just because it. Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I'm trying to say? It's a real thing. I'm proud of it. I'm so grateful to be part of it. And getting back to the original point, I'm never going to be swayed from feeling that by a minor fallout. If somebody throws their toys out of the pram, takes offense at me, falls out with me or whatever, fine. It's not going to change the basis of what we've got here, which is real, which is worthwhile, and which I know for a fact genuinely helps people. And the reason I know that for a fact is because it genuinely helps me. So I can tell you for a fact that that's true. Anyway, sorry if you didn't enjoy that little bit. Sometimes these things happen. We go off on things, don't we? Let's get back to some comments. Some channel links are being thrown out. Tune in tomorrow. Oh, my life is good, says Almost Then. Hello to you. It's Halloween on Thursday, says Tracy. You could do a haunted cottage special and leave it running. Good idea. Good idea. Thursday will be the night of the overnight live stream. Oh, good shout, Tracy, says Matron. What if the ghosts come out, says Emma? Well, that'll add some fun to it. I'm going to screenshot that to remind me. The risk is, says Peter P, some spooky doings might actually be caught on camera. They were last time. And they might be again. I mean, in reality, in a very old building, there are going to be noises and things going on, aren't there? But I remember the last time I did the overnight live stream for the 24-hour one. Long-term viewers will remember this. There were a couple of moments where things definitely happened, and everybody could see them, hear them. Oh, excuse me. Oh, and Diane's telling Emma that already subscribed to Emma's channel. Love your honesty. I love Emma's channel. And oh, Sean was asking about you, Emma, and asking about your channel and how it's going. He watches you as well. So, yeah, there you go. You are not unappreciated. When things calm down here, says Emma, I have lots of videos I want to make, and I'm sure they'll be very good. I don't believe in ghosts, says Tracy, but a lot of people might watch. I don't believe in ghosts, but I believe in the things that happen here because they happen. And you can't not believe things that actually happen. Plus, says Emma, if Boaty leaves the live stream running all night, you will all get to hear him singing about his little tinkle. I agree, Boaty, says Diane. My philosophy on life, my bad day is nothing compared to others who are having really bad days. Yeah, not those exact words, but yeah, I agree with that. John says, I'm going to say, I'm glad the community has been here for me through all my bad times. And I cannot thank you all enough. I'm so glad I've met such nice friends and a great community. Oh, bless you, John. And Peter P says, you are a community legend, John. And he is. He is. Tracy says, I had an Italian Facebook friend and I was upset when he died. He was always talking about visiting Wales. Nothing romantic, but I wish we'd have met as friends in real life. Dan says, makes me think about if one of the community is not able to come on live because of illness or even worse. We need an emergency list. Yeah, that's an idea. Enjoy life now, boys and girls, says Almost Then. It's as short as the falling of the snow. Yeah. Oh God, says Matron. I remember that post from Richard. Matron, I'll never forget it. I'll never forget it. That is ingrained on my soul. That really, you know, just scrolling through Facebook and suddenly you see something and it just makes your heart go, oh, there's like a massive shudder thunk. And you think, shit, that is, it's something that's so real, so visceral that it immediately knocks you on the head and puts everything into perspective. And if you think you're having a bad day or you're worried about something, you're worried about a car's MOT or you're worried about paying off a credit card bill, you read something like that and you think, fuck, that is the shit that really matters. Don't get being hung up on. And I'm sure that that sort of thing has kind of molded and guided my view on life and how to get through it now. Because whatever you've got going on in your life, and no matter how bad you think it is, if you're not having to go for a walk and look at trees and think, I'm watching the leaves fall off, I will never see these trees regrow, you're doing okay. You haven't really got anything much to worry about. It's, yeah, God, I'll never forget that. Maybe a community WhatsApp group, says Diane, although I'm useless at it. Besides FaceTube, we've already got a community WhatsApp group, Diane, and we've got a community Facebook Messenger group chat, and we've got the Facebook group. So we've got pretty much everything going on. If anybody can think of anything to add to that, then please do. Tracy says, I think what you said was wonderful. So many people don't know what to do and leave things unsaid, sadly. Peter P's giving some love to the community. Sorry about what I was. Oh, and Emma points out that, yeah, we've already got one and I can add you. Not a lot happens there, though, says Emma. No, not a lot. Oh, hello, Mike was here. Classic Wheels Wales. Hey, Mike. Community, says Emma. If anybody's in Norfolk at any point, I'd be happy to meet for a coffee or whatever, as long as you're not a stalking weirdo. Well, same is true here. You know where I am, darlings. You know where the restaurant is. There's going to be an Airbnb called the Sherpa's Lodge very soon, and you're all very welcome. Some of you will either by choice or necessity want to keep things virtual. I'm thinking that, those of you who live in Finland or Australia or America, then, by necessity, it's going to be virtual. Other people like Jimmy, and please God, he's okay. We don't know what's going on with Jimmy. They chose to keep it virtual by choice. And I've got a voice note for you, darlings.
How was work tonight, Jason, sir? better known as Boaty. And also, are you all packed ready for tomorrow to spend time with the captain? And hopefully he'll be on the live stream with you tomorrow night. Maybe, sir? And will Emma be going away with you for your birthday treat, sir? Because we all know she loves land, doesn't it?
Right. Well, I spoke about work earlier, and I'll be doing all of the packing and stuff after the live stream. What else did he say? Llandudno. I don't know what's happening with Llandudno. It would be nice to get something happening around Llandudno. My fiance, whose birthday is within 2 weeks of mine. There's so many birthdays in January. She's talking about going to Llandudno. So maybe we can sort something out. Yes, it's Mike, says Mustard. He was here this afternoon. And Matron says, Mike, I've been wondering how you are. Emma says, I had an abnormal smear and have to go for treatment. Thinking about making a video about that might help people, or is that too open and honest? Oh, well, that's for you to decide, I guess. It's what you're comfortable with. I've had treatment before, so know what it entails. Mike's telling everybody that he's been to Greece for a couple of months and bought some vehicles. Oh, who just did that? Oh, Mike, bless you. Thank you. Mike's just sent an old super chatty thing. He's such a nice chap. Oh, I remember you telling us before, Steve Nespel, 2 near-death experiences under his belt. It's otherworldly and basically indescribable. Yeah. Well, I say I can imagine, but yeah, unless you've been there, it probably is kind of unimaginable, and I completely understand it's indescribable. Ian says it's nice to see another side of Jason, the person within the life and soul of the party, outside, and a good heart and a considerate soul within. Oh, that's very kind. Boaty, says Emma, I'm looking at your unpounded box. Right, well, let's deal with that. I've got it here ready. Here it is. Ready for, oh, there's the pound. Ready for Llandudno in January. There's the box. And bosh. That is the box, well and truly pounded. The box has had a double pounding today, darlings, because it was pounded in the earlier live stream. 2 helpings of poundings. Diane says, in light of what Boaty says, I want to say I love you all and thank you for accepting my nuttery. Could be taken by aliens tonight. Well, you never know, do you? Actually, yeah. So on that particular note, on that bombshell, oh, Clarkson's had surgery, hasn't he? Yeah, I echo those sentiments. I love you all very much too, and I'm so grateful to you all for accepting me. And I do say it. Maybe I say it too often. Maybe I don't say it enough. But you've all made a massive difference to and in my life, and I'm really grateful to all of you. Oh, another voice note, darlings.
You know, Jason's splashing out tonight. He's putting second pound in the box today.
Yeah, I did just do that. I get fed up, says Emma, that just as I think things can't get any worse for me, they suddenly do. But I keep myself stable by regularly reminding myself of the good things and what is going well. It's only a matter of funds, Boaty, says Peter P. I'm set on visiting you someday. Well, I tell you what, you'll be very welcome when you are able to come. And if by any chance I have become rich and successful, I will pay for you all to come and visit me. There we are. There we are. That's a manifesto commitment from the Boaty party. There's always something to be positive and grateful about, says Emma, even if it's just being in a cozy bed with a roof over your head. Oh, and people are saying they've missed Mike's monkey mouse cat. I still don't know what it means. I've got absolutely no idea, but it's a classic Wheels Wales catchphrase. Almost Then is so happy that a Mustard and Boaty Do live stream is going to happen. It's happened before, but not for a while. Yes, says Emma. Oh, another voice note, darling.
Sorry to interfere. I think Emma should do the thing about a smear because it's important for the ladies to have it checked. And then she always puts, if guys don't want to watch, don't watch. But I think it's an important topic, so.
I agree, actually. I agree. Yes, people must come to Norwich and pound the streets with me looking for street finds, says Emma. There was a 42-inch telly today. I thought of the Airbnb. Well, please do think of the Airbnb or the lodge, as we're now going to be calling it, aren't we? I love that. My hemorrhoids are extremely itchy tonight, says Granddad. How he didn't blow the candle out, I'll never know. Matron's having that was bad books. Matron's having a laugh at Peter. Brilliant, Jason. Very discreet, says Mike. I'm trying not to wake the entire premiere in with my laughter, says Matron. Chairman Boaty's manifesto commitment. The man behind the Boaty, the man behind the pottering. And that's true, Matron. There was no alcohol in the previous Mustard and Boaty live streams, though, Boaty. Quite correct. Quite correct. Throw alcohol into the mix and God knows. Right, that's about it, darlings. Well, in fact, that is it. Anything else to tell you? A little bit more Airbnb lodge, the lodge news. My fiance, bless her, who is by training and career an interior designer, bless her, is going to come and have a look at the old lodge and offer any wisdom that she can. So that'll be cool. Mike says good night. And it's time for everybody to say good night, really. Boaty needs a perm, could do it for charity. Mustard saying good night, Peter P saying good night, and I am also saying good night. I need to go and pack a case and sort some bits and pieces. Actually, what I really need to do is put this washing machine on. Because the thing I intended to wash before the live stream this lunchtime, I've forgotten about 15 times to do it. It's still not. I'm doing it now anyway, so hopefully that'll be all right. Right, there we are. We've pretty much caught up with things. It's been a bit of a random one tonight. I hope nobody's been offended or upset by some of the things that I've talked about. Sometimes it happens like that. It's we do this on a daily basis, and sometimes things will pop up that are not all fun and sunshine and light. So there we are. There we are. There's going to be. Remember, for the next 3 days, there are almost certainly going to be no videos because I'm not going to have time to edit things. Tomorrow, I'm going to the yard. Things will happen. Tomorrow night, I'm in a hotel in the north. Tuesday, probably coming back, going fairly straight to work. Oh God, I need to watch all of this, don't I? How am I going to do that? I'll finish that, then I'll put these in there. Anyway, that's all logistics for me to work out. And then Wednesday, then I'm off to the heights of Abraham. So, but there will be live streams. There will be live streams every night as usual, so we can still catch up. And I'm just going to stop talking and bugger off because I've got things to sort, things to do, things to pack. Indeed, Ian, and I can't, Emma, because I'll be taking the cameras with me. Right, that's it. God knows what I'm going to call this one. Maybe absent friends and community love, something like that. I don't know. But I need to get off and start getting stuff sorted. It's I don't even know what time it is. Anyway, there we are. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for bearing with whilst I'm all disorganized and discombobulated. There'll be a live stream tomorrow night with me and possibly other people. And then there'll be a live stream on Tuesday and Wednesday night as well. And I can let you know how the madness is getting on. Catch up on some old videos if you want to watch anything of mine, because there's not going to be any new videos out now until Thursday at the very earliest. Just have a safe and peaceful night. Have a great week ahead. And take care of yourselves and take care of those that you love and take care of those who love you. And keep in touch. Facebook group, WhatsApp group, Messenger group, and obviously the live streams. I'm going to sod off now. I've rattled on long enough. But just sending you all, wherever you are, all the love in the world. And the candle will be relit Tuesday night, 11 o'clock. There will be no candle tomorrow. I will be in an hotel with an emergency sandwich, I imagine. All right, darlings. Thanks so much. Much love. Look after yourselves. Catch you next time. Pachoo, and indeed, boss.